Cool. And we're going to do quite a few, we're going to release through our whole body. We're going to start with our jaw. We're going to start with our vagus nerve. We're going to do that first, and then we're going to move down our body. So these guys are what we need. We're also going to do a bit of focus on the other half of your torso today. I'd like us not to focus on the ribcage quite so much today. We are going to do a release for the ribcage though. So we'll do it as we go. And I'll explain as we go. So these are the things you're going to need, but we're going to start standing. Yeah. And then we'll go to sitting. I'm conscious I'm quite far away. Hold on. Just want to do the other ones. I'm just going to bring these in a bit. Okay. So do it. So we're going to start standing. First of all, I'm going to grab our ball. I'm going to place it underneath our foot to begin with. And you're just going to, for this one, because we're going to do like lots of little ball work, right? You're just going to put it wherever it feels nice for your feet. So you can squish it, you can roll it. But what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to do it on one foot first, and then take a moment to notice that foot compared with the other foot. So just bringing awareness to the difference it makes. So we've got the ball underneath our foot, below, and whoops. And we're squishing and rolling. And tonight we're going to use quite a lot of the ball. Yeah, get one you like. So squishing and rolling it underneath our feet. Excellent. Just everywhere you can. And you might want to roll it, which feels nice tonight for me. You might want to try picking it up with your toes. So just do one foot to start with. We're really going to do the foot. Just notice the difference. I won't pick up. I won't pick up at all. So the other one I'd like you to try for your big toe, just trying, is if you take your big toe on your ball, and then you roll off the ball, so you've got this real extension in the big toe. And this is what we need for really nice walking, for balance, for all sorts. So just see how it feels in your foot, whether it feels easy or difficult, and then just roll again. Nothing's behaving. Nothing's behaving. I'm having one of those days. So rolling everywhere. And then take a moment and notice that foot compared to the other one. Maybe even close your eyes and just see if that whole side of your body feels different. Take a moment and balance on the other foot, not the foot that you've worked. Just notice how that feels. And then balance on the foot that you've worked and see if you feel any difference. Do you feel a little bit more connected or grounded? Maybe not, just notice and awareness is good. So then, taking the ball and do the same thing with the other foot. Good. So we're going to put it everywhere, all of your foot. I have to mute people, I'll do that just now. You can unmute yourselves if you'd like to speak, of course. Cool. So rolling your foot everywhere or squishing it. Squishing it, that's what I like to say. So squishing it everywhere. Great. Rolling it, squishing it, really getting in about all the bits of your foot. And then when you're ready, you're going to try, maybe try picking it up. Maybe you don't want to do that tonight. Do what feels good for your body this evening. Good. Yes. The left foot is behaving. Good. And then as well, try that one with the big toe on this side too, and see on the opposite side and see if it feels any easier. I broke this toe, so this toe doesn't always feel as easy to extend as the other one. And it also tries to hide it amongst its other toes. Just be aware of what your toes are up to. Excellent. And give it another quick roll. And then come to standing again and just notice how that foot feels compared with the other one. And then try balancing again. See if it feels any easier. I know I always feel much more stable, but you might not. We're all different. So next, we're going to do some tapping. We'll warm up everywhere. Look, I'm already warmer. So we're going to warm up everywhere, and we're going to go wherever you. Let me give you a challenge for this one. Before you start, let's do one side of our body. So we're going to tap one side of our body. So we're going to tap The left or right if you can. So it doesn't matter which one, just tapping. And tapping down your legs, being as creative as you want to be. Creative legs. And all the way back up. Staying on that side of your body. Coming all the way around your arms. Up over your shoulders. Into your clavicle. This is one of our lymphatic drainage points. So making sure you're getting there. Shoulders. Your arm. Creatively around your arm. Maybe into your back there. Into your adrenals. There it is. All the way around your arm. And then up that one side of your neck. One side of your face. Tapping or patting over the back of your head. And then we're going to sweep down that one side of your body. All the way down that side of your body. And when you've finished, take a moment to notice that side of the body compared with the other side of the body. Does it feel different? Try and balance on that leg. Try and balance on the other leg. Do you feel more grounded? Hopefully you do, and it feels better. So take a moment to notice again. It's not disappeared, that change is great. So let's do the other side. All around your pelvis. Ensure all of your pelvis. Down your legs, glutes, get your bum. All the way down your glutes, your legs, your feet. All the way back up again. Make sure you get into the back here. Woo! My adrenals need it. Up over your body, into the sides of your arms. Good. Up over your arms, tapping these arms. Staying engaged with them. Up over your neck. Up over one side of your face. Your back. And then sweeping all the way down. Good. All the way down. Make sure you get everywhere. Then take a moment to notice again how you feel. Balance on the other leg. Balance on that leg. And I know that I feel much more grounded, so hopefully you do too. Okay, so we are going to do a little bit of a release for our vagus nerve and for all the different areas. So we're going to take a moment, notice your face. I'm going to come closer to the screen, which is not a weird angle, so I can show you. So notice your face. We're going to do one side first and then the other, so you notice the difference. So we're going to take our fingers and we're going to place them. First of all, we've got a loop of our ear here. We've got our first ear loop. You're going to place your finger inside the other ear loop. There's a little hole bit, and you're just going to rub there and massage. And just take your time. And if you start to yawn, let it come. I'll pass mine on. Good, and just rubbing in here. Good. And then we're going to take our finger and we're going to place it inside our ear canal. Now, if you feel into your ear canal, halfway down, there's like a bit of cartilage, kind of making it into half an ear canal. You're just going to rub on that cartilage. It's usually towards the back. You'll feel it. It's like a hard bit of cartilage. You're just going to rub that. Oh, yeah. This is where you get to your vagus nerve. So this is a really nice way to calm yourselves down if you're feeling a bit stressed. Oh, yeah. In here. Good. Then we're going to take our ear and we're going to pull our ear away from our face. All the way up. Pulling the ear away. And then all the way back down again. Sometimes you can feel it kind of popping the skin. It's quite nice. We're getting into lots of the nerves of the face. This is supposed to make you stay younger looking. And then you'll be doing it all the time now, eh? And then we're going to take our finger and we're going to take it behind our ear and just glide it all the way down. So it goes behind our ear and down. It's following the route of your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve comes this way. Yeah, we're coming down to our lymphatic drainage point as well. So these are all bonuses. And then take a moment to notice how that side of your face feels compared with the other side.
And if you're yawning really good, just keep yawning. Good. Excellent. Let's do the other side. So let's go to the other side. So remember, first loop, no. Second loop. It's the second loop, that second bit we're going into. Just rubbing. And again, these are great access points for the vagus nerve. And remember, the vagus nerve helps to switch on our parasympathetic nervous system. And remember that our parasympathetic nervous system helps to make our bladder work, our bowels work, everything work properly. Good. And if you have a hearing aid in or can't do this one because of that or anything like that, then you can just pull your ears away from your face and do the down the back of your neck one. Yeah. And then into the tragus. So into your eardrum and rub your eardrum. If you feel the need to yawn, according to my trauma-informed trainers, you're not supposed to cover your mouth when you yawn. You're supposed to let it out. She always gets really cross. I know, it's weird. Good. Then pull your ear away from your face. And again, all these things are about helping your pelvic floor to work better. And I know we're starting up here, but there's one tube that goes from our face all the way to our anus. So good. And then behind your ear. Great. And then pause. And just notice how your face feels. Hopefully really, really nice. Okay, now while we're still standing, let's have a look. I know I'm not standing, but while you're still standing or sitting, wherever you are, we're going to look over our shoulder and just notice how our neck feels. It should actually feel quite warm already. And then look over the other way. You know what's coming. And then look over the other way. And then come back to the center. You've noticed how tight or not tight your neck is tonight. We're going to stick our tongue out. We're going to move our tongue over to one side and move it up and down and then go the other way. 7 times up and down this side, 7 times up and down this side, and then we'll retest. So stick your tongue out. I see you, Leva. Tongue over to one side. Up and down. Over the other side. Up and down. Then out to the front. And then, okay, now retest your neck. Wow, mine feels good tonight. Good. Okay, so we're going to come to standing if you're sitting. Because we're doing a little bit of rocking now, because we want to do some rocking. We want to work with our eyes. So quite often we spend a lot of time looking at screens or phones, and we don't have a lot of space for our eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our feet hip distance apart. We are going to warm the rest of our body up in a minute. Hopefully you feel quite good already. So we're going to take our hands out in front of us, fingers together, palms facing towards each other. Now, as we inhale, we're going to look towards this point. As we inhale, we're going to rock back, opening our hands towards the side, keeping our fingertips in our peripheral vision and watching our fingertips as we inhale. As we exhale, we're going to come forwards and we're going to come back to focusing on the point. Yeah? So the focus here is less on the breathing and more on the point and the peripheral vision. So we're going to do 3 of these and then an apnea. You can do it in your own time. So as you inhale, you're rocking slowly back. You're keeping your fingertips in your peripheral vision as you do it. Toes are relaxed on the floor. And then as you exhale, the peripheral vision is drawing back to the point. And just really take your time with this to really give your eyes the chance to open and then come back in. So as we use the peripheral vision and the point in front of us, we're starting to relax our eyes. And then after your third one, when you come forwards, you're going to pause and widen your ribs. As you widen your ribs, I'd like you to open your hands so you can keep your hands in your fingertips and your peripheral vision. Once you've done one set, shake yourself off and do another one. So fingertips together in front of you, shift your balance point forwards. As we inhale, we're rocking back, and you're just doing it in your own time, so as slow or as speedy as you need to do. And exhale, coming forwards, allowing the point to come back into your vision. Good. Inhale, rocking back when you're ready, and just again, if I'm moving too slowly or fast, don't worry, just go at your own speed. This is all about the eyes. And I've got one more to go.
and then back, and then pause, widen your ribs, and slowly allow the hands to expand, keeping them in your peripheral vision. So once you get if your peripheral vision finishes here, that's where you're finishing. Yeah, and try and take it as far as you can. Still see them? I can still see them. I can still see. Yeah, shake it off when you're ready. Excellent, well done, everybody. So let's just do some shoulder rolls now. So rolling the shoulders, nice big rolls. Perfect. And then back the other way. Great. And then again, nice big rolls. Now we're going to grab our ball and we're going to release underneath our armpits. So just take a moment to notice your armpits and notice your shoulders. Cool. And just standing here like this, no fancy things happening. I'd like you to take 3 nice slow breaths in an apnea again. I'd like you just to notice how your ribcage feels, what the expansion feels like, what your arms, so just relax your arms just now, or hands on your ribcage. 3 nice slow breaths. And then your apnea. Perfect. Once you finish, you're going to take your ball and you're going to put it underneath your armpit. Okay, still standing where we are. As we inhale, we're going to allow the armpit to open with the ball in it. So it's like we're releasing it a little, or we're feeling it expand. And as we exhale, we're going to squeeze the ball in and down. So you can do this with anything you've got. You could do this with an orange, an apple, a bowl. So whenever you're ready, just in your own time, inhale, allow it to widen. And exhale, squeeze it in and down. Inhale, widen. And exhale, squeezing in and down. Perfect. And after your third one, you're going to squeeze in and down and then apnea. And once you finish on one side, swap to the other. But again, you're working at your own speed tonight. There's no like, you must do this at this speed. No? So this is all about releasing any tension here that can create tension in your shoulders, your ribcage, your diaphragm, ultimately your heart. So inhale, allow it to widen, and exhale, squeeze it in and down. Inhale, widen, squeeze it in and down. Good. Inhale, widen when you're ready, and squeeze in and down, and then pause, and apnea. And once you've finished at that apnea, you're going to put the ball down, but not too far out of your reach, because we're going to use it when we get to the floor. And I'd like you just to stand where you are. And again, 3 nice slow breaths in apnea again, just to feel how that feels. Just make sure you're nicely lined up. Don't have to worry about leaning forward or anything for this one. This is more about just working with the ribcage. And then after your third one, when you get there, you're going to pause and slowly widen your ribs. Perfect. Okay, so I said we're going to release the ribcage more when we go on the floor, because I said we'll definitely concentrate on this evening as well. But what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to focus on what happens with your pelvis when you breathe. We spend a lot of time thinking about our ribcage and less about what goes on here at the pelvis. And remembering that the anterior wall here is one of the things that's helping to support your bladders and the front of your pelvic floor. That's the one. So if we think what happens when we breathe, so we're thinking about our pelvis here. As we inhale, if I show you on a pelvis, just so you get a look at the visual. Here's my pelvis. So as we inhale, yeah, the top of our pelvis here, this bit you can feel here, as we inhale, it moves in a little bit. It moves in just a little bit. And as we exhale, it moves out a little bit. This means that as we inhale, the coccyx at the back and the sit bones, they widen.
So the top of your pelvis comes in as your sit bones widen and your coccyx moves out. So it goes. If we were to really exaggerate what happens with our pelvis, as we inhale, the top, if you feel just where you're inside those bones at the top, as you inhale, the pelvis comes in at the top and it goes out at the back. So if I was to show you really exaggerated, and then as we exhale, the pelvis comes out at the top and in at the bottom. It's really exaggerated. So what's happening is as we inhale, the coccyx is drawing the pelvic floor into length, and as we exhale, the top of the pelvis is opening and shortening the pelvic floor, helping to short through the pubic symphysis. So we've got inhale, the pubic symphysis is dropping down a little as it gets pulled out the back. So it's like a little seesaw. Seesaw? Or a boat. Think about your pelvic floor like a boat. As we inhale, it moves back. As we exhale, it kind of moves forwards. So I'd like you just to think about this part of your body just now. And we're going to stand with our feet hip distance apart. And as we inhale, I'd like you to just sense those bones moving in. And they move in by like 0.44 millimeters or something. It's very tiny. And as we exhale, we're going to think about them moving out. So they're like wings that fold in on the inhale and wings that open on the exhale. Wings that fold in on the inhale and wings that open on the exhale. And you're going to do one more. Inhale, they fold in. And exhale, they draw out. And then pause and apnea, widening your ribs. Now, the other way to think about this, if that's like what she's talking about wings, if you think about there being, so these are my two bits, a piece of string attached to this side, and it's also attached to this side. And as we inhale, the string gets a little bit looser. And as we exhale, the string tightens again. So the string gets looser and the string tightens. So if you imagine you're holding one part of the string here, one part of the string here, and as we inhale, the string gets looser, and as we exhale, the string gets tighter. Inhale, string looser, exhale, string tighter. Inhale, string looser, exhale, string tighter, and then your apnea. So once you've done it once, try it again, and just try and really sense that movement. As the string gets looser, the sit bones widen and the coccyx comes out. As we exhale and the string gets tighter, the sit bones move in. It's tiny movement, but it's a really lovely movement for your breath. Good. So inhale, string comes in loose. Exhale, string comes out tight. Good. Just sensing that feeling in your pelvis. Perfect. Okay, how did that feel in your body? Thumbs up, have you kind of got it, felt okay? Kind of here if you're like, oh, I'm not sure what she's talking about. And then thumbs down. Rebecca's got fireworks. Yay. So let's come down to the floor. I know it's a bit weird. It is quite, if you've been used to quite holding your pelvis quite tight, it feels quite weird to actually think that it does that movement when we breathe. So let's come down to the floor and we're going to have another little investigation of our ribs first, and then we're going to move on to some other stuff with the ball and everything else. So coming down to the floor, quite often what happens with our rib cage is it gets really tight. Our fascia gets really tight underneath our rib cage. So we're going to do this. Grab your ball. We can do this with our bowls. We've all got bowls. I'm just going to work out what my clothes are like tonight. I don't know what I'm wearing. So, okay. So if I strip off a little to show you, you don't have to strip off, obviously. What we're going to do is your diaphragm, if it's not used to moving too much, or if it's quite tight, it can get really tight directly underneath the costal ridge. What should happen with your diaphragm is as we inhale, the diaphragm should move down. It moves down quite a lot. And as we exhale, it should recoil up quite a lot. It's got quite a big distance it moves. So let's do a test. So we're going to do the left side test. So you're going to inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to try and get your fingers under your rib cage. And you're going to see how far you can get your fingers under your rib cage. If you can't get your fingers under at all, that means your diaphragm is quite tight. If you can get your fingers under a little, it means the diaphragm is moving away a little bit, because remember, an exhale, it should be all the way back up to its finishing place. If you can get your fingers pretty far under, so you can almost feel the other side of your rib cage, that's really good. That's showing real mobility in your diaphragm. And if you can get your fingers all the way under, so you can kind of play your ribs from the other side, you know, like the piano keys, that means you've got a super flexible diaphragm. So see where you're at. And we do it just on the left side for the test, because on the right side, we've got lots of things like our gallbladder and things. Okay. Where were you all? Fingers up, actually. Fingers up where you're at. If you couldn't get your fingers under at all, your thumbs up. If you could get your fingers under a little, thumbs up. Okay. If you could get your fingers pretty far under, thumbs up. Okay. And is there anybody who could play their rib cage from the other side? Okay, so we're going to take our ball and we're going to place it on our solar plexus. We're not going to push hard here because we've got a bone called the xiphoid process here that if you push it hard, it makes you feel a bit like you want to vomit. So don't push hard. Then what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to roll the ball along that costal ridge. If you come, so it's just inside the ribs, yeah, just underneath and inside the ribs. If you come to a bit that feels quite tight, we're going to treat it like our feet. We're going to inhale, and we're going to exhale, just hold the ball there, pressing lightly. Then we're going to inhale, exhale again, and keep rolling all the way around. Remembering, seeing how far you can roll it around. Remember that your rib cage comes all the way around the back of your body. I mean, mine comes pretty far down. Comes all the way around there. Some people's will be higher up. Some people's will be right low down. Just see where your rib cage comes to and how far you can get the ball round. And then try the other side. Same thing on the other side. The other side, it might be a bit tenderer because you've got your gallbladders pretty near to the side, the costal ridge. So same thing here. Inhale, exhale, roll the ball underneath, all the way around, as far as you can go, and roll on the exhale, pause on your inhale. I do it a couple of times for both sides, just really loosen them off. Hey. Mine's really tender in the back just now. Too much wine at the weekend. So it's from my kidneys. Once you've done that on both sides, yeah, we're going to take the ball and we're going to release our glutes and possibly our obturator internus as well. So we're going to take our ball, we're going to put our knees together, feet together. We're going to place the ball underneath our glutes, about where your jeans pocket is. You'll know the right place when you find it. And then we're going to roll onto it. So I've squished it with my buttocks. And if it feels really easy, move the ball about a bit till you find the tender bit. Everybody's always got a tender bit. And then you're going to take 3 nice slow breaths on your side, like this. Squishing the ball with your glutes. And imagining each time you exhale, you're sinking the fascia, your muscles are sinking and melting around the ball. Just 3 breaths here. And then we're going to come off the ball after your 3 breaths and swap to the other side. Same thing on the other side. And just be aware and notice whether this side feels any different than the other side. So I'm rolled onto my right side now. And I use my right side a lot more. Because I'm right-handed. So I always step with my right leg first. You know, I'm more likely to stand on something with my right leg. Step into things with my right leg. So it always feels a little bit, for me, tighter on the right side than it does on the left. I've got a wonderfully soft ball though, but I don't want to be screeching now. And then when you're ready, rolling yourself off the ball. Cool. So taking a moment now, lying on the floor like this, I'd like you to take a moment just to notice how your spine feels. Now, we always talk about neutral, but I'd also like you to be aware that the fact that when we're in neutral, we want to make sure that we do have a gap underneath our lower back. So I'd like you just to take a moment and feel where your neutral is. And I'd like you to imagine that you could get a whole army of ants marching underneath your lower lumbar spine. And just make sure that that's what you can find here. Cool. Okay, so we're going to take our really long beach towel, or our foam roller, or our pool noodle, or whatever we have. And we're going to place it underneath our pelvis, our sacrum. So it's this one. So we're going to really loosen up our sacrum tonight. So we've done our vagus nerve and now sacrum, so two ends of the system. Once you've found it and you're on it, I'd like you to take a moment to feel like you're dropping your ribs towards the floor and that you're tilting your pelvis back just a little bit. So we want to make sure there's a little bit of a posterior tilt here. And then we're going to lift one leg up off the floor. And just take your time. I'm just going to wait for everybody to be here. So yeah, legs back on the floor. I'm just going to, I'll make sure everybody's in position. Okay, good. So remember a little bit of posterior tilt, ribcage on the floor, lift one leg up, lift the other leg up. And then we're going to tilt ourselves over to one side. So we're on one part of our sacrum. Well, less on our sacrum, more on our pelvis. Then here we're going to imagine we've got that pencil between our knees, and we're going to draw a circle in the sky with our pencil. And we're going to go 5 one direction. And notice if you feel anything weird happening. Like today, I can feel my adductor on the other side getting really tight when I'm doing this. I did a lot of driving today. And then come back to the center. The leg that's closest to the center, or no, stay over on the side. Just stay still. The leg that's closest to the center, staying still, and the bottom leg is going to do its own little circles. Right. And we do 4 or 5 one direction, or 4 or 5 back the other direction. It doesn't have to be very many. Then come back to the center. Well, no, come back to the side, but come together. I'm using the wrong language now. And just go for a little march. So we're still off to the side, but we're now marching. We do about 10 of these. So what we're doing here is we're shearing the fascia here. So it's the same thing we do when we're kind of brushing our body when we're tapping. And then we're going to put our knees together, feet together, staying over to the side. Take a nice breath. Great. And I'm going to swap all the way over to the other side and repeat. So think about the little pencil between your knees, and you're going to do your nice circle in the sky one way. A nice circle in the sky the other way. Go. And then keep the leg in the middle still. The leg on the bottom is going to move its circles. 4 or 5 one way. So this side feels much easier for me than the other side did tonight. Which is weird. So just noticing how it feels in your body as well is important. And then legs together, and you're going to go for your little march. Chin, 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 chin. And pause. Take a nice breath. Then we're going to come back to the center. We're staying up. We're rib cages towards the floor. We've got this tiny little bit of a posterior tilt. Legs are relaxed down. And we're going to do 3 nice slow breaths and an apnea here. Taking your time, nice and slowly. Inhale into your ribs. Think what your pelvis is doing. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then your apnea. And when you're ready to inhale, you're going to inhale position, exhale, legs come down, feet come down. Take this away, and then take a moment to find that neutral spine again. See how your body feels. Remember, those ants want to crawl underneath your lower lumbar spine. Okay, so then we're going to take our small rolled up towel, and we're going to put this about where your bra strap is. So we're putting it as T10, T12 is where your bra strap roughly sits usually. And this is where your psoas muscle comes in and knits it with your diaphragm. So we're going to just lie on it in that position. Good. And just take a moment to just take some nice breaths before we do 3 breaths of apnea here. And for some people, this might feel incredibly tight. So just landing here and feeling what it feels like. Noticing if it feels tight. And then in your own time, you're going to do 3 nice slow breaths in apnea. And just feeling how different this feels in your body. You can think about your pelvis. The top coming in on the inhale, and the top of your pelvis moving out on the exhale. And then your apnea. And then remember that exercise we did at the beginning, where we're looking at our fingers. I'm going to inhale, widen them. So we're going to do this, keeping them in our peripheral vision. Exhale, bring them back. So you widen, keeping your fingers in your peripheral vision. When you can't see your fingers anymore, that's your time to move back. And exhaling, moving back. Inhaling, widening. Exhaling, coming back. And then when you're ready, you're going to do your apnea. And as you do your apnea and widen your ribs, you're going to move your hands away. Just notice where you notice this. And then take the towel out from underneath your back when you're ready. And just here on the floor just now, we're going to do 3 nice slow breaths in an apnea without it there and see how your body feels. Just hands can be by your side. You can think about the pelvis coming in on the inhale and moving out on the exhale. But just being aware of how different the back of your ribcage might feel or not. It's also for you not, maybe it wouldn't feel any difference. And then your apnea. So that was us releasing the top of our psoas with that exercise. So let's release the bottom of our psoas now. So we're going to roll onto our towel, having it so it's lengthways along our pelvis. So back for our sacrum. So we're going to lie on it like a sausage. And when you get here, first of all, you're going to shimmy from side to side. So just sliding your pelvis from side to side across the top of the towel. So now what we're going to be doing is we're releasing our sacrum, which can get quite sticky with our psoas. And we're also going to release our psoas. And then we're going to tilt our pelvis forwards and backwards. And just be aware of what's going on with your sacrum. So that's the bone in between the 2 halves of your pelvis. Good. Then we're going to drop one side of your pelvis off the towel, lengthen the leg on that side. So this side's really flat to the floor. The other side will feel a little bit lifted. And then we're going to move our leg in and out. So we're going to twist our leg out, twist our leg in from the hip. Remembering the hip is just up from the pubic bone. Good. So we're twisting from our hip, which is here. We're going to do about 6 of these. So this is lengthening your psoas from the other end of your body. And then bring it back up, drop the other side off, lengthen the leg, and twist it in and out from the hip. Great. And again, about 6 times. And then we're going to bring it back up. And then we're going to shimmy across the top, side to side again. Perfect. And then we're going to take it away. We're just going to notice how our back feels now. We're going to come into a dorsiflexion with our feet now. We've got a neutral pelvis, ribcage on the floor. We're going to take our hands out in front of us. So we're going to have our peripheral vision working. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale wide into the sides, keeping your hands in your peripheral vision. And as you exhale, you're going to bring it back. And just take your time with this. You're doing 3. And then when you come to do your apnea, you're going to open your hands again too. So just be aware of where you might be noticing the movement more. And exhale when you're back. What happens if you think about your pelvic floor? Do you notice any change as you keep your fingers in your peripheral vision and your eyes relax? And then come back. And then when you're ready to do your apnea, you're going to do your apnea and slowly widen your hands towards the side. Just taking your time. Great. When you're finished doing yours, you're going to roll onto your side and come up to standing. And we're just going to have a bit of a retest of how our body feels. Which I haven't gone over too much now, is it? Okay. So come back and just take your time to get up here. And just notice your feet, your body, how it feels here. Try standing on one leg and see how you feel. Do you feel different than you did at the beginning? I could stand here for much longer. And then swap to the other side. And then come to standing, and we're going to do 3 breaths in an apnea again. Just nice and relaxed, do your shoulders and your body, and just notice if it feels any different. I mean, we're looking for difference, but if you don't have any, it's also okay. So take your time. And when you need to inhale, hold that apnea for as long as you can. You need to inhale, just shake your